Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my little weight loss journey that I promised you this week. Now this is all about how I kind of stumbled upon keto, but I want to preface this with saying I'm no doctor. I just know what works for me. That's why I mentioned in the last video at the end that you got to find what works for you. And I had people in the comments saying, oh, you can't, lose weight with, eating desserts, and you're keeping people addicted to sugar and, stuff like that. And it's just, there's no way I could ever lose weight and keep it off without having my desserts. I know if I give them up and, get real strict, and the cravings might go away for desserts, which, yeah, it'd probably be good in the long run for that to happen. But I've spent my entire life making people happy with food. I feel like that's almost what I was meant to do. I'm good at it. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but it's what I've always done. Since I was 16. If I couldn't make a beautiful dessert and take it to a family gathering, I don't know, I wouldn't be me. That's me. That's what I do. I never go to a party empty-handed. I always have food or dessert or something like that. So no matter what, if I changed the way I ate completely, I would never cut out desserts. End of story. But like I said, I'm not a doctor, so, if you're diabetic, I'm not. I just did what I did to prevent that from eventually happening. So I don't see the way I'm eating and doing keto as a hindrance to my health, because I got my A1C checked before I went keto and it was only 5 point something. It was in the normal range. So I wasn't even pre-diabetic, but I was overweight. I had bad circulation in my feet. My feet would be purple in the morning, and I got worried. And so I got a bunch of tests done. And then I got the Doppler on my leg when I had the phlebitis because they thought I might have a blood clot. And, just a lot of health things that way that kind of, freaked me out, but I never had diabetes. For me, doing what I'm doing this way is working. That being said, how I found keto. Like I said, I didn't start with keto. It was my 33rd birthday. So almost 3 years ago now. It'll be 3 years in January. My 33rd birthday is kind of like, I remember when I was getting into the paleo, I was watching Bobby at Flav City and his wife Desi, who they were keto paleo household, but when I was watching, they made a lot of desserts with dates and coconut sugar and stuff like that. So I kind of got into watching them, and I kind of was following what they were doing, kind of I'm like, I got to get the bad sugars out of my life. No cane sugar. I bought coconut sugar, I bought dates, and I started baking a little. For my birthday, I did gluten-free paleo carrot cake, and I made a coconut whipped cream for something we were doing. I always love throwing parties and, making tons of different food, and, that's how I've always been. I remember doing that. I don't remember exactly weighing myself when I first started doing the paleo, but I think I was upwards of 240, 235, something like that. And I don't really have a lot of pictures from that time. Surprisingly, even that birthday party, I don't think I have any pictures from. We did go camping in March. This was March 2020. So we went on a camping trip. If you watched our wedding video, our vows, I actually mentioned this in the vows because we went camping right before everything shut down. We went to North Carolina. We actually ended up camping in South Carolina. But at that point, I was trying to do paleo keto, but I wasn't being super strict. We met up with his aunt and uncle. We went to breweries all around Asheville, North Carolina and stuff. So that was kind of the last hurrah almost. We got back, everything shut down. So it was kind of well, I guess now is as good a time as any to figure out what I want to do and lose the weight, and I have no work to go to, and I have money coming in because of unemployment. I was already on it, luckily, so that made a really easy transition. So I started researching more. I watched a lot of Thomas DeLauer videos also, and he has a whole keto for beginners. So I kind of went into that realm after the paleo and after we got back from vacation. Basically, when I first started, I didn't even track anything. I just ate all keto foods as much as I wanted, really, like until I was full. And I completely cut out bread, pasta, potatoes, rice, all that stuff. I completely cut everything out. I cut out gluten and sugar, and I ate until I was satisfied. When I was eating, I'm like, oh, this is really good food. Like, just thinking to myself, like, okay, so I can eat bacon and burgers and all the cheese I want and all this other stuff. So I was good with the food that I was eating because it was mostly foods that I actually liked. So I got into eating more. Before I started keto, I didn't like cauliflower and I didn't like avocados. My taste kind of changed when I went and started doing keto. I was loving everything and the weight was coming off really fast. But the whole channel started mainly because I was trying recipes and they weren't working. So I don't know if it's me that can't make this or if it's the ingredients I have or what is wrong with these, but I tried a lot of recipes and was very disappointed. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm a pastry chef, I should be able to figure this stuff out. And it took a long time for me to figure things out. I realized it is not easy to completely switch to completely different ingredients, and they all act completely different than regular pastry ingredients. But I started with ice cream, because ice cream is like one of my favorite things in the entire world, and it's one thing I cannot live without, no matter what. And this was before, like, it has become way better now with all the options at the grocery store. Back 2.5 years ago, almost 3 now, like, there wasn't Rebel ice cream. I mean, there was Halo Top, I believe, but that stuff was not, I didn't like it. I mean, back when I was eating it. Yeah, but tons of stuff has come out since then, which the ice creams are okay that are in the store. I'll buy them if I'm just feeling lazy, or like right now I just don't have time to make my own ice cream. It's all at the shop being sold, hopefully. I do bring home my scraps ice cream that, you know, I have a little bit left here and there, but I don't make my own batches of ice cream right now at home. So I'm picking up those every once in a while, especially because I'm pregnant and I want chocolate ice cream like all the time. So I started with ice cream. And I tried the mason jar ice cream. And while it tasted good, like that night, I couldn't get it out of the jar the next day. It was just rock hard. And like, it took me a really long time to figure out the recipe. That is my first video. And I really should redo that video because I didn't say a lot of things that I probably should have said in the video. I mean, it was my first video. I never shot a video. Literally learned everything from scratch. Everything. I didn't know anything about YouTube or filming or editing or writing blog posts. I was a chef my entire life. That's all I ever did. And I mean, yeah, it was nice with the pandemic that I kind of just had time to figure it all out, but it was not easy, that's for sure. So when I first started keto, I ate whatever I wanted that was keto. I took electrolytes. I watched Thomas DeLauer, which really helped me not really have keto flu. So I took potassium, magnesium, and extra electrolytes, the Himalayan pink sea salt in my water, all that kind of stuff, which I still take all that now too, because it definitely helps replenish your body of the nutrients that you need. I didn't really have any ill effects from going keto. Like, I don't even think I got the keto flu or anything. Maybe because I had already done paleo, so I kind of started cutting out the sugar already and transitioned to keto. I'm not sure, but I helped my mom not have the keto flu with my advice. The only thing I remember when I first started, I was so awake, I wouldn't sleep at night. Like, I'd sleep like 4 hours a night, like, and I was like wide awake. That was like the only thing I really remember distinctly like happening when I went keto. It was interesting because I was used to being always tired. When I went keto, like the mental clarity I got and the energy and all that, like I was like, wow, this is like a miracle, you know, diet. But I don't see it as a diet. I see it as a lifestyle. And especially, I can't wait to go back to it. I know I could have stayed keto during my pregnancy, but I didn't really get to enjoy being at my goal weight. I was supposed to like kind of celebrate, and I never even ended up doing that because as soon as I got to my goal weight, Adam proposed, and then I started planning our wedding like right away because the only time I figured we could do it was during February, March when my work was slow because we couldn't do it during the summer. If I was at my job, like we work 70 hours a week, like there was no way we could take off for a wedding and for a honeymoon like during summer. So I had to do it in either like winter or like very early spring, or I had to wait all the way till fall the next year. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to hurry up and do the wedding. So I started planning the wedding like right away. And then, like, that was super stressful. And then we ended up having it at my work at Wanaka, and that helped. But then my chef left me and all that stuff happened. And I pretty much had probably gained at least 10 pounds before the wedding back. So, like, I don't even know how long I was really at my goal weight for, because all the stress happened so fast that, like, I think I just piled on the weight. It wasn't even, I was doing keto still, but I just think I was just overeating. Which, I mean, it can happen still. And the same thing, like, when I started keto, I lost a ton of weight, but then it slowed down because I wanted to eat the food I wanted to eat that was yummy. I think we went back in, like, June or July to work. So, like, I was losing weight from, like, January-ish to June, and I think I got down to around, like, 185 again within, like, 6 months of starting keto. But then we went back to work, and I was around regular food all the time again. When I was, like, really easily, strict at home, and then I got to work again, then I started not losing as fast. Working in a restaurant is hard to not gain weight as it is, and then to stay on a diet that is a little bit more restrictive than most. I love the food I get to eat, but it's really hard when there's french fries in the window for free and breaded chicken fingers and stuff like that. Like, I mean, people have only so much willpower. I stuck away from desserts. Like, I did not cheat on desserts at work. I stuck away from sugar completely because I knew that it would be a trigger for me if I started eating sugar again. But the weight came off really slow after that because I was testing desserts, you know, trying to figure out recipes, plus working. So I was doing 2 full-time jobs basically at the same time. It took me a long time to get down to my goal weight after the initial, like, loss that was really fast. But I was happy going through the journey. Like, it wasn't super discouraging to me because I was enjoying what I was eating and I got to eat my desserts. Like, if I was feeling deprived, I would have been annoyed that I wasn't losing weight. But because I liked what I was eating, those last 20 pounds, it took a long time, but I knew I would eventually get there. And then once I got there, stress took over. And then I got pregnant right away. And I didn't really want to stick to keto during pregnancy. Like, I wanted to feed my baby healthy carbs, whole grains, stuff like that. Like, I'm not eating spoonfuls of sugar. I'm going to be starting to drink some red raspberry leaf tea here soon, and I'll probably put some honey in that, so I bought, like, raw organic honey. But my sweetness level has gone down. My keto desserts are sweet for a lot of keto people. For me, my sweetness level has went way down, though. Now, if I try something that is regular sugar and really sweet, like, it's, like, too sweet for me. So I'm, like, in the middle range. I don't know, because people complain about my recipes sometimes being too sweet. That's why a lot of times in my videos I say sweetness level is up to you. You can cut it down a little bit, add a little bit more. The thing is, you can't just cut out, like, all of it, because then the ratios aren't going to be right. But you can cut it down by 1/4 cup of sugar if you want. I've even had people complain that get my desserts at the bakery that was too sweet. But they liked, like, certain things. Like, things made with allulose they liked because it's less sweet than the stuff I make with Monkford erythritol and stevia. So it's all a matter of taste. The point is, I don't feel deprived. But I'm looking forward to getting back on keto once I have my baby boy. And I think I'll just feel better in general. Which, it's also, I mean, I just don't feel good with the stress and stress eating and all that stuff too. Growing a baby is hard already. And then wanting to constrict myself to a keto lifestyle at the same time while trying to run a new business and run another business. It was just all too much. And yes, I could have done keto, but I really just didn't want the challenge of being that hard on myself when I had so much other stuff going on in my brain. So, I mean, I'm not eating for 2, but I'm not eating keto either. I'm trying to eat as healthy as I can, but I will be happy to get back on keto and lose the baby weight. But I guess that's it for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm sure I'll have updates coming. You know, I shot a lot of videos in the last 2 months, so you're going to be seeing videos from me as long as I can get them edited for 2 months probably. And then who knows after that if I'm going to be able to keep up with everything or not. I might be missing a few weeks here and there, but I'm sure I'll have more update videos for you. So I hope this helps you guys in some way. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give the video a thumbs up. And as always, I'll be back with another keto dessert recipe. Bye, guys.